ってばよ!
You might think that it would be cool to be a Jinchuriki. Near limitless power, all sorts of unique jutsu, the respect or fear of your fellow shinobi, and a sense that you are incredibly important to your village. Plus, you get a friend that you can talk to anytime you want. But all of these things are strictly in the absolute best case scenario. And boy, is that best case scenario rare. Let's be real. Having a tactical nuke shoved into your belly is not a dream job, and walking around with the power to destroy everything isn't gonna win you any friends. Here's the deal. It sucks to be a Jinchuriki, and I'm about to explain why in full detail. Before we get to the suffering though, welcome to the Amagi. Before we begin, only 25% of our viewers are subscribed, so if you're a fan of the video, please like and double check if you are subscribed. And with that out of the way, let's get into the video. You open your eyes for the very first time. Congratulations! You've just been born into a lifelong prison sentence. Here's the twist: you're both the prisoner and the prison. The first thing you see isn't the face of your loving mother. Instead, it's a circle of freaky masked shinobi hunched over you like vultures. And they're not here to coo over how cute you are. They're here to jam a cosmic horror movie monster inside your tiny baby body using a process that makes medieval torture look like a spa day. You're maybe 3 minutes old, if you're lucky, and someone's already tattooing an intricate seal across your stomach with ink that burns like liquid fire. You scream, but the sound that comes out isn't entirely human. It's got this deep, guttural undertone that makes the candles flicker and the adults step back nervously. Who does medical procedures by candlelight anyway? You've now got a tailed beast shoved inside you. These aren't cute Pokemon-style creatures either. We're talking about fragments of the Ten-Tails, an unexplainable god monster so powerful that the Sage of Six Paths had to literally rip it apart to save reality. Each piece can level mountains, boil oceans, and turn armies into ash. And they just stuffed one into your digestive system, making you the world's most dangerous piñata. Everyone knows this might kill you. Your body could tear apart from the pressure. Your mind could shatter like glass. But hey, if you survive, you're the village's new nuclear weapon. And if you don't, well, they'll just find another baby. Welcome to being a Jinchuriki, kid. Fast forward a few years. You're old enough to walk into the village market and you think today might be different. Maybe someone will actually sell you some veggies without looking like they're handling radioactive waste. The moment people see you, it's like someone hit a pause button on the entire marketplace. Conversations stop mid-sentence. Kids playing tag suddenly find urgent business elsewhere. That nice lady who sells dumplings, she'd rather throw her food in the dirt than hand any to you. Worst of all, nobody's gonna tell you why. You're just a kid who wants to buy some candy, but everyone's treating you like Godzilla in footy pajamas. Why is everyone so freaked out? Well, your horrifying passenger is constantly leaking its chakra, and while normal people can't see it, they can definitely feel it. It's like standing next to a nuclear reactor. Everything in their lizard brain is screaming danger, even though they don't know why. So they avoid you, and their kids learn to copy that fear without understanding it. You think you can just sleep in all day to avoid the bad? Ha! Every night you hear this voice in your head, ancient, furious, and very interested in convincing you to let it out for a quick rampage. Some Jinchuriki, like Gaara, literally cannot sleep because their beast will try to take over the moment they drift off. Get used to being permanently caffeinated by pure terror. You become an expert at reading rejection. Half-open doors mean please leave. Closed doors mean leave faster. Open doors mean we forgot you existed, but now that you're here, please see the previous options. The loneliness isn't just sad, it's weaponized. The village designed it this way to keep you isolated and dependent on them. After all, if you had friends and a support system, you might start asking uncomfortable questions like, why did you turn me into a living bomb? Or, can I opt out? By the time you can walk without falling over, the village decides it's time for training. Better known as, let's see how many magical padlocks we can slap on this walking disaster before it explodes. Your instructors paint painful seals directly onto your skin, each stroke burning a new restraint into your chakra system. Too tight, and you can't use basic ninja techniques. Too loose, and you might accidentally level a city block. The Uzumaki clan was famous for this kind of work. They had such naturally strong life force that they could survive being used as supernatural storage containers longer than most people. That's not a compliment, by the way. That's like saying someone's got great kidneys for filtering poison. While other kids are outside learning cool ninja moves and making friends, some Jinchuriki get lucky and find mentors who teach them to actually communicate with their beast, to find common ground and work together. Others get the just suppress it harder approach, which is like trying to fix a broken dam with more concrete. The dam always breaks eventually. Every training session is basically the village asking, how do we get the benefits of having a nuclear weapon without incinerating everything we care about? The answer involves a lot of magical duct tape, matchsticks, and glue. Then, one day it happens. Maybe you're terrified. Maybe you're furious. Maybe you're just having the worst day of your already terrible life. The seals slip, just for a moment, and suddenly, you're not you anymore. It feels like someone filled your veins with molten lava and then struck you with lightning. Your nails become claws that can rip through steel. Your teeth sharpen into fangs. Your skin bubbles and shifts under a cloak of raw, violent energy that makes the air itself scream. From the outside, you look like a natural disaster wearing your face. From the inside, you're drowning in power and instincts that are not yours. Your voice doesn't sound human. It's layered with something ancient and furious that makes windows crack and grown adults wet themselves. This is where the tails come in. Each tail that manifests behind you represents another level of power and another chunk of your sanity being fed into a cosmic blender. One tail, you're still mostly you, just very angry and glowing. 4 tails, you're operating on pure instinct and everything around you is probably on fire. 8 tails, you're basically a kaiju having a temper tantrum. Full transformation is the nightmare scenario. That's when the beast forces its true form into reality through your body, turning you into a mountain-sized monster that operates on one simple principle: destroy everything. When it finally ends, you wake up feeling like you've been hit by a freight train of regret. Your body is covered in burns from your own power. You taste blood and ozone. Your muscles feel like they've been replaced by broken glass. And everyone around you is looking at you like you just proved their worst fears true. Because you did. The really fun part, this will keep on happening. Every time you lose control, you roll the dice on whether you'll come back as yourself or as a crater where a village used to be. Once the village decides you're stable, and stable's a loose term, meaning probably won't murder everyone accidentally, they start sending you on missions. But these aren't normal missions. You're not sneaking around gathering intelligence or protecting merchants. You're the thing they wheel out when they want to end a war in an afternoon. Your mere presence on a battlefield changes everything. Enemy commanders look at intelligence reports, see your name, and suddenly they're having very serious conversations about surrender terms, because everyone knows what you are. A walk-talkalypse, if you would. The geopolitics are insane. Each major village keeps a Jinchuriki as their personal deterrent, their if you nuke us, we'll nuke you back option. Except instead of missiles, it's traumatized teenagers with god monsters in their bellies. Your allies don't really trust you either. They keep sharp objects handy and practice their emergency Jinchuriki disposal techniques when they think you're not looking. Their battle plans always include a section titled "What to Do if Our Own Weapon Tries to Kill Us." And then there are the hunters, the Akatsuki, a group of S-rank criminals who absolutely do not mess around, have one goal: collect all the tailed beasts to reform the 10 tails and become gods. They don't want to kill you quickly. They want to capture you alive so they can spend hours slowly and excruciatingly extracting your beast from your body. Every mission becomes the world's most depressing multiple choice question. Will I A, complete the objective, B, accidentally destroy everything I'm trying to protect, C, get murdered by my own allies, or D, get kidnapped by collectors who think I'm a very valuable Pokemon card? None of the above is not an option. Sometimes, despite your best efforts, the collectors win. Unless you're Naruto, but last I checked, you aren't. You wake up chained to some kind of ritual platform, surrounded by the Akatsuki standing in a perfect circle with their hands raised. They start the extraction jutsu and you find out what it feels like to have your soul slowly unraveled. Imagine every cell in your body ablaze, but the fire is actually your life force being pulled out through every hole in your body. Yes, even that one. Your chakra streams out of you invisible ribbons of light while your body convulses against the restraints. This isn't quick. It takes hours. Hours of feeling yourself being slowly emptied while the beast inside you thrashes and fights, its terror and rage mixing with your own until you can't tell where you end and it begins. Your vision tunnels to a single point of white-hot agony. Time loses meaning. You scream until your voice breaks, then keep screaming in frequencies only the dying can hear. And here's the really cruel part. Extraction always kills the host. Always. The beast and human are so intertwined that removing one destroys the other. You're not just dying, you're being systematically disassembled. Unless someone performs a literal miracle, you'll die empty and alone, having spent your entire life as an unwilling container for something that never belonged to you in the first place. You realize your entire existence was just a storage solution, and now that storage isn't needed anymore, neither are you. Years later, after the dust settles and the historians write their sanitized version of events, the cycle begins anew. Somewhere in another hidden village, another baby is born. Another group of shinobi gathers around in a ritual circle. Another set of seals is prepared. That child screams as the ink burns across their skin, their voice already carrying that inhuman undertone that makes people step back nervously. Another Jinchuriki is born, and the nightmare starts over again. Maybe this one will be luckier. Maybe they'll find a mentor who teaches them to work with their beast instead of fighting it. Maybe they'll discover friendship and love despite the fear and isolation. Or maybe they'll follow the same path. Loneliness, training, missions, and eventually extraction or death in service to a village that sees them as a useful tool rather than a person. The really dark joke is that most Jinchuriki never get to retire. They don't grow old and pass their burden to someone else. They die young, violently, and are immediately replaced by another child who never had a choice. You were never free. You were only ever a lock, and someone else always held the key. But hey, at least you got to fly around and shoot energy blasts, right? That's gotta count for something. Right? Hey now, wasn't that fun? Just a torturous existence with some cool visuals to help things along. I probably didn't convince anyone new to sign up for the Jinchuriki waitlist, but you never know. Some folks might think it's all a-okay. So let me know in the comments, what tailed beast would you want to permanently and painfully team up with? And once you do that, make sure to give this video a like and subscribe so you can ring that bell and know exactly when more content like this drops. Thanks for watching. Peace.